we're doing some Sinfessions. So I'm gonna do the thing that I do every single Sinfessions and point out that these are the appropriate places to go if you have real trauma in your life, real problems in your life that you actually need help with. I also really want to shout out the charity, the Rainbow Road. No association with them at all. I just think it's really nice that if you are in a bad situation and you're LGBTI+, I don't know what did they finally shorten the hotline number? I don't know. But Rainbow Road gets people who are, you know, LGBT plus out of bad situations into good, hopefully better situations. So that's another option if that's a thing. These are numbers you can call if you need to call someone. I am not the appropriate person to talk to if you are having actual big bad trauma going on in your life. I apologize for that I can't be that, but I'm also just a YouTuber. I'm just a streamer. I'm just a guy, you know? I'm not a therapist. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So anyway, let's read some of these and turn on some jams to listen to while we do so. I'm somewhat attracted to Oblivion Manny Marco and Mankar Cameroon. My friends regularly bully me affectionate over it. There's lore on why, but it's kind of wordy for a confession. Can you lower the cam just a bit? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I need to set this up. I don't know who these... The bad guy of the Mages Guild, the bad guy of the main quest. Let's see how bad your crush is. He looks like a high elf. Like, I don't want to spoil plot stuff for a game that's old, but like, he just looks like a guy, man. Yeah, he's just a guy. Why? Have you heard of the High Elves? Sin. I guess. Weird. Yeah. I like that you are low-key bullied, not full-key bullied for this. That is the appropriate action. It's a sin, but like only if really requires like regular friend bullying and that's it. When I was in the 9th grade, born in 88 is a reference for timescale, so same year I was born. I was born in February of 1988. I had a friend who lent me some mags. You know, the kinds with Roberts and kittens. Anyway, my parents found them. I love kittens. I don't know who Robert is, but I love kitties. Took them away. Whatever, not a big deal. Continuing story is my friend found out that the mags got trashed, so he told his dad I borrowed his PS2 and wouldn't give it back. When his dad approached me about it, while alone, real fucking weird, but I told him the truth that that now ex-friend pawned it to GameStop so he could buy pot. In the 9th grade. How old are kids in the 9th grade? I found out that kids in like 6th grade are like 12 or something. Like they're very young. 9th grade age. 14 to 15 or 15 to 16. Okay, so yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like that does seem like probably shouldn't be looking at porn at that age. Agreed. But kids absolutely do at that age. So like low-key sin, but a sin that I think every tit enjoyer has done. One time when I was 14 years old, I asked a Micro Center employee if they do tips. Got a maybe, gave him 400 pennies because I thought he was cute. That's like a white elephant gift. Why did you do that to someone? Sin? But like, okay. Why did you give him pennies? Why would you ever do that? Sin for pennies. When I was a kid, I had a friend once who told me that they read in the newspaper article that scientists or the FBI or something were going to dissected a cat and found aliens control it, hence why cats have glowing eyes in the dark. Rev, I fucking believed them. That one sounds real, because that's stupid as fuck, and it doesn't have to do with, like, any of the stuff that, like, you would normally expect for it to be, like, a fake story. This is so fucking weird. This is absolutely... This happened? No sin here, just really fucking funny. Toward the beginning of my teens, I had a crush on Ludwig von Koopa. God, you guys need to touch grass. Something about that wacky blue hair and the bossy personality and the single tooth and the kitty-shaped mouth was so appealing to me. Hell, I still think he's cute. Sin. Sin. Absolute sin. Get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, someone had to have. When I was in the 5th grade, I managed to trick 6th or 7th grader that my non-holo legendary Pokemon cards were far more rare than his holo full art cards, so we should trade. I traded every single one of my legendary cards and for all his good cards. He later got upset, like, you are a bastard. He later got upset like a week later and came to be saying that he doesn't like these cards anymore and he wanted to trade me back. I told him there were no trade backs and he cried home. He moved away like 1 month later. Then I lost my cards at school like 3 months later. Sin. 100% sin. There's a lot of trading card sins. Listen, a lot of people were like about my age and they played Pokemon, the TCG, or traded them. Yeah, dude, if you had a crush on Misty, it turns out you're a fucking normal human being. Or I guess you're weird. Are we weird for having crushes on Misty when we were kids? No, I mean, like, not because it just seems normal or basic. That's what I'm saying, though. The norm seems to be a lot of people being into, like, random shit, like Ludwig von Koopa. Right? Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit older, so my crush is from the 80s and stuff. Sure. It's gonna be some sort of equivalent, I'm sure. Some of these characters were designed to be crushed on. Petey Piranha? Sailor Moon characters used to be my crushes. I could see that. Marvel movie piss confection extension. I pissed myself because I didn't want to leave to go to the bathroom. It wasn't an exciting or scary sin. The movie was Internals. They pissed themselves while watching the movie and they didn't get up to go because, yeah. I somehow completely forgot to put water in the microwave oatmeal once. Panicked so hard that when it started smoking that I just took the entire microwave outside to air it out. Honestly, yeah, you kind of have to on shit like that. I mean, I'm not even gonna say it. We already know that that one's a sin, man. I think, yeah, this is a thing that just happens with people. This is just human. In the 2nd grade, I went to the bathroom one day at school and I found 2 of my classmates in there on the floor with the pants around their ankles on top of each other, touching tips. This didn't happen. Fuck this. I must buy Pokemon cards not because I like Pokemon. I hate it as equally as I hate Nazis, or because I like playing TCGs, but I'm addicted to smelling the cards after they're opened. What? You don't even sell them? I thought that's where this was going. That's an expensive hobby. You just like the smell? There are cheaper cards to buy. I mean, yeah, the smell is great. It is nostalgic as fuck for me. But you could buy so many other packs of cards that are like cheaper. You know, get some like bootleg ass game that no one plays. Like, if you hate them, stop giving them money. You should either hate Nazis more or Pokemon less. One of the two. I'm not sure where you're at on either of those things. New card smell is awesome. Can't deny that. Sin, I think, and you probably need to get your shit straight. When I was younger, we had a new neighbor move in next door. I wanted to greet them and give them a warm welcome, but I was too shy and socially awkward to go talk to them directly, so instead I left a bunch of fresh onions from my garden on their doorstep as a gift. Yeah, you are socially awkward, aren't you? Because that's such a... I mean, you tried. Being on that spectrum is not a sin. Yeah, I mean... That's nice of you. Are you a cat? It's not like a dead pigeon or something. Did you leave a note at least so that way they knew what the fuck was happening? Explanation for the Italian Americans thing. I jokingly say that I have a fetish for Italians or Irish people. AKA I watch a lot of Irish YouTubers, and Mike and Vinny are Italians. I don't know if it's actually possible to fetishize people of those ethnicities or if it's just Asian people. Also, I'm the Mike guy, and the Piss movie was the Mike guy. Anyway, I like to watch Vinny streams, so is that a bad explanation? Yeah, I think you can fetishize Italian Americans. I think it's more common to fetishize like Asian Americans or Asian people in general. I think this is still a sin, yeah. I pick my nose and eat it. I don't particularly like the taste of snot. It's certainly a choice. I'm not some sort of snot goblin. It's just more of a habit that feels good to do. Say it's more about the journey than the destination, and I don't plan to stop. Bin. Literally, just because that last thing you said, I don't plan to stop. Based as fuck for that. Sin for the rest of it. An error occurred. A developer should check the... Okay, hold on. Some of these aren't even things. Oh my god, we're actually not that far from finishing all these sins. I don't know how many I have left, but yeah. Alright, Italian Americans continued. I think that Irish people... I think I like Irish people because they're the underdog in history. Okay. As an Irish American, technically speaking, cool. Good story. One time during October, my friend stole my pumpkin and used a marker on its face while I was at my aunt's, as I hate the smell of pumpkins. He started sobbing and began chasing me, and I didn't realize until then that he was still holding the carved knife, more like a saw thing. I ran around the block. What? I ran around the block to get enough of a gap between me and him to run into my house. I made it to the backyard door of my house and locked it. I told my mom to tell him I'm not home. He knocked and asked her if I was home, and she said no, and he walked off. What? One time during October, my friend stole my pumpkin that I used markers for its face while I was at my aunt's, as I hate the smell of pumpkins. Right, so you don't want to smell like the cutting the pumpkins thing. He started sobbing and began chasing me, and I didn't realize till then that he was still holding the carving knife. What the fuck does this mean? Why was he crying? Who is he? One of the friends that stole his pumpkin, the OP's pumpkin. Why did they cry? Why were they upset? What happened? I hate memes and the culture around memes. It's just so annoying. Who cares? It's just an image or a video or some words. Fair. That one prior was a sin because it didn't make any sense. Once I forgot to watch spinach and continued cooking and making spinach pastries out of them. And I knew I had messed up by eating one of them. It had a weird sandy crunch to it. Those were meant to be sold. Didn't say anything out of shame. Didn't want to see all the go to waste. They bought and ate dirt spinach pastries. Sin. Sin for that. More context on the pumpkin sin in chat by another submitter. We don't know if they're the real person or not. Sin for doing that. Wario's body odor, thank you for the 7 months of support. That's very kind of you. Sin for selling poison? I find Germa to be boring. Okay? To each their own. I don't care. Not a sin. Sin for posting it as if it were a sin. When I was in kindergarten, I was trying to prove that I was smart to a random group of third graders, so they asked me, does division exist? And I said no, and they all laughed at me. I still think about it at least once a month. Yeah, that's just called being a kid. That's called being a kid. Does division exist? That's the gotcha they got you on. Sin for being a kindergartner. Like, surely you would know about it by the time you hit kindergarten if it was a real thing, right? How the fuck did they get to, does division exist? A while ago, I had a roommate who's a real piece of shit. Had an addiction to saying the N-word. That pretty much sums it up. He also had some girl he was having intimate relationships with, but refused to take it out. At one point, someone he's into comes to town, and he goes with her, but tries to make me lie to the other girl. Thankfully, I never actually had to do it because he ended up spilling the beans himself, but I never let him forget that one. Yeah, roommates are like that. I've been very lucky that I've never had to have a roommate that isn't my wife. Or my family in general. When did they taught you division in 3rd grade? I don't remember when I learned division, but 3rd grade seems early. Sin, but not you, the other guy. Chat, if you don't like gross food stuff, I'll recommend you tab out. When I was a younger kid, thank you for the warning. When I was a young kid, like 7 or 8, I frequently did not eat lunch at school, so I'd leave lunches in my locker, and one time over the March break, I came back to my lockers and was hit with a wave of absolutely disgusting odors. This lunch that I had left over in my locker over the break, which was going moldy and was infested with bugs. I had asked the janitor to clean it out, and she spent the whole time yelling at me and berating me. Yeah. Sin, but a reasonable, understandable sin. Like, you know it's bad because she yelled at you. I think I just heard my wife come home, so give me like 2 minutes to go see her. I'll be right back. 2 minutes. Hello? I don't see her. But I'm still running this ad, so I guess we gotta wait. No wife yet. Who was that door? No one. I just heard like a thud that sounded like a door closing. No wife. Okay. Do you have a link to the Sinfessions thing while you're waiting? Yeah, let me get that. I don't want to like do any more reading while I'm waiting. There's the link if you want to add stuff. We will be trying to get through a bunch on the 15th, so if you like this bit, we'll be doing more. I have no idea how the ad breaks work, I'll be honest with you. Should probably set up something like Sin on Mubot. Probably, yeah. I mean, if you're a sub, you don't get ads. Obviously. We're back? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Should be back. All right, now we can continue. And guess what? There's more to that other guy. You know, the inward roommate, which is a great... Probably not the way you want to say this, but I understand what you meant. I ended up during the last few weeks pulling out some real mind games, like deliberately not cleaning up after myself to punish this guy for his sins, staying up way late, leaving loose laundry, not cleaning dishes, even interrupting him having intimate relations on a few times. And yes, they would do that while I was in the room while they thought I was asleep. Oh, did I mention the guy was homophobic? I feel justified because of that. I mean, still not a sin, just weird. When I was 12, I once licked a car for a bag of chips. You know, like, Sinfession's kind of incredible because one sin is like, yeah, I used to, like, troll the hell out of my roommate because he was racist as hell. And the next one is, I once licked a car for a bag of chips. Sure. Yeah, not a sin. Weird, but all right. Yeah. In 2nd or 3rd grade, I got in trouble for drawing a picture of a person pissing on George Washington. No idea why I drew it. Probably because you had heard about him. And then pissing is funny because you're in 3rd grade. In middle school, we had a class mandate that our parents sign our homework. I used my art skills to forge a bunch of parent signatures for kids who did their homework right before class. We never got caught. Amazing, based, good. When I was growing up with my friends, we had a base in the back of one of our yard that used to hang out in. We all had our roles in the club. To preface this, we were all in the 4th and 5th grade. I proposed that I could be given the title of sextrinary. My role in the club was to be guard of the club, and if anyone broke in, it was that I would have sex with them. Okay. No one ever broke into our club. It was just a 9-foot deep hole that was like 20 by 20 feet filled with our trash and our pet maggot. You know, our little like base that we had when I was a kid, I was a teenager at the time, we had a piss trench. It's just like random pieces of metal gutter. Here, let me draw a picture. All right. So this is basically what it looked like. Our base, right? It was in this forested area. So there were like trees. And then there was this little round bit of it right about here, like a little clearing in the trees, and then like a little area back here. And I made a broom out of chicken wire, a stick, and some more sticks. So it was like a big stick with chicken wire around it, and that bundled a bunch of other sticks like so. So it's kind of broom shaped, right? So I swept all this area. But back here, we had like a gutter, right? It's like a metal piece of like gutter. So there's like mattresses and shit, I think. But there's a gutter here. There's like a metal kind of like, this is like a front on view of it. It's like this, right? It's like a V-shaped gutter that kind of just went off like that. And if you wanted to like still hang out with everyone but not go and piss somewhere else, you could piss into the gutter and the gutter would take the piss somewhere else entirely else. So you wouldn't have to piss where you slept. What I'm saying is we didn't have like someone whose job it was to fuck people when they showed up. Sin? All right, fine. It wasn't my decision. I just cleaned the place, man. I got called a homemaker for the longest time because of that. In middle school, I had a friend who'd give me his extra dinosaur attack cards. This wasn't the 80s, he just liked collecting stuff like that. Now, I was using the Stegosaurus one as a bookmark. I guess I forgot my book in class one day, and the teacher saw the bookmark and got upset at me for having it. I don't remember what happened after. I just remember I cried when she yelled at me. I don't feel bad because it was a sweet-ass bookmark. Not a sin, actually. Your teacher is a sinner for that. I sent a Sinfession a while back where the advice was to go outside. I didn't see it live because I was outside. Life is good. Okay. I basically ghosted someone I liked because of all some stupid shit my old school friend said that wasn't true. said friend also stopped talking to me afterwards. I wasn't in the greatest place at the time, COVID era, and believed them for some stupid reason. I have no idea how the other person felt. I'm on the spectrum. It's super hard for me to gauge that shit. Sure. It was a mental health game changer. But looking back, I think I was cringe and dumb and belong in Sinfessions for this. Being autistic, being on the spectrum is not a sin. In the 10th grade, me and a few colleagues decided to have lunch at the mall. The 10th grade. I'm sorry, how old are you? Like 15 to 16. Colleagues. You're fucking 15, dude. Me and a few of my colleagues decided to have lunch at the mall. While there, someone dared me to go into a store and ask the clerk how many kids they got. I don't know why. Since I was new at school and there was no one there knew each other well, I decided to do it out of peer pressure. I went to the clothing store and asked the clerk. She stared at me with a weird face. In a panic, I said, sorry, wrong person. But in my language, it felt more like saying, sorry, wrong number. And I calmly left the store. Sin, but very funny. Also, colleagues. English is not your first language, so I'm gonna let you go on that one, but that is a weird choice and not how you spell that. Sin, but very funny. Sin. Almost every week, starting at 6 years ago, I would buy Ben & Jerry's ice cream, go to my bathroom, strip to my underwear, turn on the shower, and while I ate the ice cream out of its bowl, all while having mental breakdown because it's the only way to calm myself down. That sounds fucking incredible, actually. That's not a sin. That's amazing. I don't think you can correct people on spelling, not gonna lie. All right, well, you're banned. Would I do that IRL? Eat Ben & Jerry's ice cream in the shower and cry? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds great, man. That sounds like a fucking mood, dude. Like, they've got a whole, like, situation on how to have a breakdown. Healthier than my way of coping. My sin is I found out about Germa in the most disturbing and weirdest way possible. I was recommended this song from a shitty pirate game called Raven's Cry, and YouTube recommended his video of him playing the game and breaking the game. I remember looking at that game several times, thinking about streaming it, just because it had such bad reviews. DMCA friendly, do not worry. He redeemed a timeout. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, yeah, hold on. I got to time out my mod. All right. Timeout. Luigi. The Luigi guy. 1,000 seconds. Who knows if you're still a mod or not? We'll find out later. Let's figure out what this song is. New private window.
What's he gonna do with his hanging willy? We're gonna stop him feeling silly. Nevermore a useless willy early in the morning. Play him a jig on the sailor's fiddle. Stiffen up the bit in the middle. His dick'll be so hard, no need for a wheedle early in the morning. Hooray, and up he rises, hooray. Big surprises, hooray. Up he rises early in the morning. Jerk him off, but not too much, not too fast, no, just a touch. Get a mate to jerk him off early in the morning. Hooray, and up he rises, hooray. Big surprises, hooray. Up he rises early in the morning. Go and get sweet little Lucy, she's the one with the juicy pussy. Go and find.
Oh, that solo is so shit.
Put him in the boat and get him rowing with young Sheila. She will blow him while he's rowing. She'll be blowing early in the morning. Hooray, and up he rises. Hooray, and up he rises. Hooray, and up he rises early in the morning. Let him finger Lucy's clitty. Don't move down, 'cause then it's shitty. He can even suck her titty early in the morning. Hooray, and up he rises. Hooray.
I knew this game had bad reviews, but like, I wasn't ready for this.
Surprises, hooray, up he rises early in the morning. Robbie stinking black and powder, then soak that thing in old clam chowder. He'll be squealing all the louder early in the morning.
What?
Hooray, and up he rises, hooray, big surprises.
Oh, hi, Fred. Bankman to the fried halls. What a time for I'm doing Sinfessions, so we're reading about anonymous confessions of stuff that people did. Rewind the song to the beginning. Thank you for the raid, Fred. I would assume that you were streaming talking about the Sam Bankman-Fried thing, and I think that you saw something along the lines of Fred is into Foxhole now? Yeah, I know. He told me. Yeah. Like, I love him. He's a great friend. But the fact that he's a warden is like, yeah, I know. Pingal.
Hooray, up he rises early in the morning. Hooray, and up he rises, hooray, big surprises. Hooray, up he rises early in the morning.
We don't have time to watch all of that again. But you're just gonna have to trust me on this, that was a lot. Pingal. Sorry, I missed the Pingal. Why? 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 I mean, not a sin, but weird. Sure. Hello? My phone, one sec. I love you. Okay, I am back. Yeah, we're not gonna go a whole lot longer, but we are gonna do a big thing on the next Wednesday. Let's read a few more, and then I think that I need to probably get out and stuff for a bit. Is wife good? It's the least bad possible. But still, I'm just like, today's been a lot. So I did not tell Tilda about the sea shanty now. I don't want to get into it right now, y'all. It's okay. We'll be okay. Take care of wife. Right now, she needs to just go chill. But yeah, let's turn back the music on. Let's do like 5 or 6 more. Then I need to probably get out for a bit. I'm trans femme, and when I was in my early teenage years, before I actually came out to anyone about being trans, my extended family and I went to a water park. At one point in my trip, my aunt looked at me and said, "Oh, it looks like you got some facial hair coming in," and she began to screw around with my tiny pube mustache hairs. Being self-conscious as coming across masculine or anything, I quickly retaliated, "Wow, your facial hair looks good too." She immediately shut the fuck up about it. I added the fuck up about it. Technically a sin, but hilarious. Based as fuck. I really fucking hate my cousins, so I stole an old embarrassing Halloween picture of one of my cousins crying in a Blue's Clues costume, uploaded it to the internet and hoping that he would become a meme. He never did, but I still don't regret trying. Based. One time my parents and I went to Nantucket and we stayed the week there. I was too young to drive, so I biked everywhere. Since everything you could ever want was close enough to bike, one day I foolishly took an alternate path, thinking it would loop back around to the main path, but ended up a sunken cost fallacy. Costing myself into biking nearly 10 miles because I was convinced I would go back to town eventually. I had to give up and call my parents to pick me up, and it was really embarrassing. Sin, but yeah, I see that being a thing. I could totally see that being a thing. Why not? Really hated the way the most recent Magic the Gathering story arc ended. Same person who submitted the thing about yelling at my friend about misreading card spoilers. So I was considering writing a series of AU fan fictions that cover how I would have written it if the bad guys had won instead. Should I go through with this? Fuck it. Why not? You know? Like, yeah. It at least gets you some reps into writing, which, like, better than not. If that's something that you're interested in, just like mechanically, then yeah. Yeah, not a sin at all. Do it. I started watching your content because of Homestuck. Sin, obviously. Thank you, but bad choice. I have a pee kink. Whenever you say you're gonna go piss, it does nothing for me aside from you being a married man. You just don't get my attention that way. Sin for making me read this. I mean, thank you. I'm glad that I don't. Sin. Just pick a fucking reason, Sin. I started watching your content because of pixel piracy. Holy shit. That's old school. I don't know why that was like the first stream for so many people. When I first discovered porn, I thought you had to look at porn of your age. I was 7. This is how you get to be a sex offender when you're 7. When I was a kid, I used to devour my sister's art supplies when she wasn't around. Nope, I read that right. All right. I had all kinds of stuff and felt bad about it, but then they did a blood test on me as a teenager and found out that it was pica due to a vitamin deficiency so severe I was nearly hospitalized. To this day, I can tell if my vitamin levels are getting low if I find my toothpaste to be delicious all of a sudden. Oh, you are back. Hold on. Slash mod the Luigi guy. Not a sin? Just pica? I still use a streaming service my ex let me use. It's been a few years, but if the login still works, it still works. Fuck it. That was just a pica moment. You just had like, yeah. When I was a little kid, I got in trouble at school for hitting another girl over the head with a plastic dinosaur repeatedly. In my defense, I was and continue to be autistic. And I didn't realize it was impolite and also hurts people. I thought it was funny to have a dinosaur go for a walk through her hair. I still feel guilty to this day. Okay, people with autism. Does like hitting people not strike you as like a bad fucking idea in general? Or is this just like children don't develop empathy for a long time? Is this like a kid thing or is this an autism thing? That's going to depend on how I say this is a sin or not. It's more of a kid thing? Because if it's a kid thing, it's a sin. If it's an autism thing, then like, I guess you're just autistic and that's weird. Don't do that. Spoilers, hitting people is bad. It upsets them. Scream is my favorite horror franchise because every male Ghostface so far has been a twink. Happiness is nothing more than an illusion created by corporations as a selling point to give them more money. Humans are, by their very nature, hateful and cynical. Humans are naturally inclined to violence and war. It is our human essence. It's what makes us human. Optimists are a foolish bunch. We'll see how the real world is. We all used to be 17 at some point. The real world is full of suffering and pain, and you die, and you only get forgotten with the sands of time. I believe you are a child. Humans have only existed. I talked about this on a Sukiya, whatever that game is called, thing, and someone asked what my spiritual beliefs are. And I mean this in a non-magical way. When I said it there, it didn't really make sense. But humans are naturally a cooperative, like, group of people. It's what's made us, like, exist. Like, the only reason humans are put together at all, the only reason that humans have ever got anywhere is because of our ability to work together as a group. Like, that's the only thing that we do better than other animals. We stand upright. We're reasonably hardy. But we, you know, we work together. We work together as a team. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. Sometimes we have different ideas on stuff, you know? I think if you think that happiness is nothing but an illusion created by corporations, you need to find happiness that doesn't require you to buy anything. I think it's very easy to say that happiness is nothing but an illusion created by corporations if your only understanding of happiness is things that you have to spend money on. I think that believing that the world is a cruel and hateful place is a childish and naive understanding of the world. Some people suck ass, but yeah, no. Sin. And you need to stop going to 4chan or wherever you're reading this kind of shit. Because wherever you're reading these kind of takes is actively destroying you. And it's making your life worse. There is happiness that you don't have to pay for. You'll never be happy if you do this. And so maybe you're right. You can only find your happiness through buying shit. Good luck. Sin, though. When I was like 19, I did a lot of experimenting with my back door butt stuff. One time I got a mini cucumber stuck up in there. It was only to very quickly find out why that was a bad idea. Thankfully, I got it out without needing medical attention, but you'll be relieved to know that I did not put it back in the fridge afterwards. That's what I'm talking about. That is a I mean, good job you didn't put it back in the fridge. Now that's free fun. Cucumbers cost money. Let's do like 2 more. What's with your chat and masturbating with pickles and cucumbers? It's a dick-shaped object you can get from the store and it's not weird. You know? It's weird. It's weird to buy a dildo. And it's not satisfying to, you know, use your hands. So like, yeah, I get it, you know? But man, it's not just a Rev Chat thing. No, just like, yeah, I remember seeing like a commercial once and it was like, I don't remember what it was for, but they just like, oh yeah, the cucumber that was in the fridge was really good. And they were like, oh, because like it was implied that they did stuff with it. Anyway, it's gonna sound fake, but English is my second language, so bear that in mind when I was in high school. Back when I was in high school, during one specific English class, our teacher asked us what the synonym, yeah, sure, for chief was. Just in passing, I had to guess some wires had crossed inside my head or something, so with zero hesitation, I yelled out cock. Like a second before I realized it was wrong. My teacher didn't say anything, just looked at me and went weird and went cook and moved on. I was like the best student in our English class too. I believe it, man. Not a sin. One time I took a shit so big that it tore my asshole and then it hurt to take a shit for the next 2 weeks. Okay, great. Thanks for telling me. About a year ago, I was putting a well shelf up My cordless drill died halfway through drilling holes in the wall. Instead of trying to find a charger for it, I went to the nearby hardware store, bought a new drill, finished putting up the shelf, then returned it the next day for a full refund. My explanation to the guy at the return counter was I bought the wrong drill, even though it did in fact work for what I needed it for. I'd imagine this is actually way more common than not. Based. Yol. Nope. Sin. When I feel like things are bored in my... When I feel like things are bored right in my life, I would search up key phrases on Twitter that I know will piss me off, find them, get angry, get in arguments with strangers I've never met, instead of blocking them. Don't do this. Don't do this at all. Touch grass. I've done this. It's not good for you. I also got banned from a few subreddits, which is funny because it's not even the subreddits that you would think. It's because I posted on subreddits that had like alt-right shit on it. And I was like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? And they just check to see whether or not you've ever posted there. They have a bot to check for that. And so I got banned from a bunch of subreddits for posting on like whatever. When I die, I want to be buried doggy style so the earth will fuck me the way I like it. Why not die then? You may think that I am a freak for what I'm about to say, but I love cat people, not for vanilla reasons, but because when I see a boy girl baby girl T from Final Fantasy 14? I just imagined myself as the world of light giving him a litter box for his birthday, and then I would walk in on him squatting near the litter box and is clearly constipated as his tail is raised up. Then I would stroke his tail and whisper, "Let it go," in his ear before he uses his litter box. TLDR, I hate Necopara for no litter box scene. This is someone's thing. I don't know whose it is. Sin, obviously. God, even anonymously, I wouldn't post that shit. What? In every single fandom I'm in, I either get shit on for my characters being mistaken for being minors due to how they look, regardless of scenes of them having sex or drinking. They are explicitly said to be in their 30s, or I get shit on because my character is a villain and they do heinous evil stuff. What I'm saying is that for my sin, due to being shit on by both, I'm forced to enjoy vanilla MILFs as to keep the last few friends that I have. I'm not actually sure how to do talk about this. Either you need to log off and is this like a 100-year-old dragon situation, but they look like a kid, or like they just don't have big badonkers? Like what's our line here? There's so much to unpack here. I don't know which we're looking at. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Sinfessions is I realize that I'm actually fairly normal. Most people get pissy at characters for being flat-chested. Yeah. Sure. Anime is a disease on our culture, on our life, and everything. It's one of the worst things that's ever happened to us. This was one streamer who streams himself opening Pokemon cards. For a joke, I donated him a ton of money to hit an incentive of him bending cards over when he was looking at gay fat Pikachu card. This is what happened afterwards. Let's open this on a private window. Okay.
God, no. Oh, they're all fucking bent in half.
Oh, he like bent the...
Oh, they have a permanent crease. Yeah, these are fucked forever. If I get fat gay Pikachu and try to grade it, it'd be a 2 because there's a permanent crease. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like permanent crease right where it bended. They're all fucked. Congrats, dude. Thank you. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the front. Good luck. Psychic Energy, Drone Rotom, Swoobat, Excadrill, Joltik, Sandal, Seedot, Pick-a-Peck, Mudbray. I already have Careless. God, there's a permanent crease all the way down to end. No! It actually, oh my god, it actually fucking happened! Oh my god! I big fat gay Pikachu! Why? Why did you do this?
For $200, I think that's probably all right. $21, somewhere between like $10 to $41. Toxic Avenger, thank you for the 105 months of support. I really appreciate the love coming in today, y'all. Thank you so much. 105 months is a long time to put up with me. Thank you. All right. I'm gonna check and see if there's any art. There's not. Let me check and see if there's any on the Boru. There is. It's from Almighty Zerg. We go ahead and get a close out of this for now. Oh, it's capturing the wrong window now. There we go. That's better. Let me pull this over real quick. Check this out. This is from my RoboCop streams. Dude, if there has ever been a game that is like so on point with my sense of humor, it's this game. This game is actually amazing. I'm really enjoying it. RoboCop is so incredibly dry. I need to watch it at some point, the actual movies. But thank you for the art, Almighty Zerg. I need to start, like, once we get some ink for the printer, I'm gonna start printing out my art and just like putting it up on the wall. It's just little reminders that like everything's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? I still haven't seen it. I just haven't had time to look at it. But I think that's gonna be it for me for now. Same studio also made a really good Terminator game. See, I didn't watch the Terminator either. That new Town of Nowhere could be a new wallpaper. I need to probably just get a new wallpaper in general. I'm gonna go relax some, you know? Thank you guys for understanding. Thank you guys for being wonderful, awesome people. Things are gonna get better. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. But I am gonna get absolutely fucking high as shit tonight. Just so you know. I'm gonna get so goddamn fucking high. I'll see you guys later.